Hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. I'm the Gray Strega, and I'm here to give you your daily collective read for today, Tuesday, May 23rd, 2023. What do we have coming through in the cards for today? Can I please get the first 5 cards in our 5-card spread? What is our first card coming through right now? First card, starting off the day. I'll take it. We're done for the day. I'm leaving. We're just going to stop here. We've got the 10 of Cups. Things are moving towards your ideal long-term plans and goals. This is an orientation day or focus today on building towards these bright, long-term possible future timelines and outcomes for yourself today, where a lot of attention being paid to what those plans are as you go forward. We're seeing a lot of the same optimism that we saw yesterday carrying through in today's card to start. So we really like to see that. Next card we have coming through right now for our 5-card spread. May I please have the second card? Is, geez Louise. Okay, we're done. We should finish here. We're just good. We're done. As I mentioned, we had this optimism yesterday. This was the second card yesterday, I believe. I believe it was exactly the second card yesterday. We are holding in this energy. We are maintaining it. We love it. Full stop. Maybe we should just cut it there, cut it here. But no, this is great. What we're seeing here is not only you're moving with a sense of optimism. You're heading towards your spaces and places of joy right now with an attention and orientation right now towards your long-term future happiness and your long-term future success and the energies that you feel are aligned to that same possibility. The next card we have coming through right now, the center card for our first 5 is, oh my goodness, we love this right now. This is going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine right now, this is a moment that, again, we've seen this concentration right now of feminine, paying a lot of attention towards their long-term future plan, their long-term path for happiness, a lot of positivity coming in today. Now, this is going to fall in 2 different spaces right now on the feminine collective. For some of the feminine collective right now, this is a moment that you are doing this because not only are you paying a lot of attention right now towards your immediate happiness, your immediate goals, keeping that bright, optimistic perspective, but also keeping an eye very much focused on what that long-term high manifestation is that you're trying to build towards right now. And the recognition a lot around the importance of the energies and the significance of the energies that you want to or desire to build it with. And that is either currently being in a space right now where you are manifesting a masculine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to, that is standing in its integrity, that knows what it also wants and is confident and is going to not only act to work with you in that capacity, but to defend what you are trying to build and create for yourself at this moment. Or for the other half of the feminine collective right now, we see that you are doing this work right now in collaboration with a manifestation of masculine that you feel is embodying these same qualities. While for masculine energy today, we see that this is a moment of feeling some success, some empowerment. We have been seeing this right now in the masculine collective, this need and this desire right now to make some adjustments in your own immediate environment, in your own immediate life, to help you have this level of control and confidence. It has not necessarily been easy for the masculine energy over the last few days because we saw the facts, masculines, that you have been struggling with some areas of temptation from some things that you felt were more of an immediate gratification as opposed to holding to that long-term plan, to that long-term path. Today, we're seeing an easement in that energy, masculine. It is going to feel easier for you to kind of stand in your power, to be able to stand towards what you are trying to build for yourself and maintaining a bright, positive outlook as you consider that. Why? Because we are seeing here there is some metric of success coming into focus as it relates to that long-term goal and what you're building towards right now. The next card we have coming through right now in our 5-card spread, 4th card coming through, is King of Pentacles in its reversal. Now, this is very important because we saw this card yesterday. It was in combination with the feminine energy reflecting it in the Queen of Pentacles in its reversal, right? This is not to say, masculine, right now, that you have corrected some of this instability that you are feeling. You have not completely corrected this imbalance. However, we see the fact that even in the face of some situations or circumstances that are making you feel less stable right now, you are finding your strength, you are finding your courage, you are finding your willpower to stand firm in terms of what it is that you're truly trying to defend right now, because you are feeling that level of optimism and you are keeping your focus not on maybe the immediate circumstances and situations that are making you feel somewhat unstable, but keeping your eye more driven and focused towards that long-term goal, long-term path. That is creating this sense of empowerment for you right now, masculine, and also helping you to move out of this feeling of instability. Now, for some of the masculine energy, this could even be talking about trying to either get assistance in doing this right now, or lending this type of assistance towards other masculine energy to help them in this capacity. While for feminine energy right now, this is going to hit a little different. Bearing in mind, again, we see a split in the feminine collective at this moment. For half of the feminine collective right now, this is a moment that you are keeping your orientation very much focused on your own personal joy right now. You are moving towards those situations and circumstances that are leading you to your highest, best long-term plan and outcome, with a manifestation focusing on a masculine energy that is standing in their integrity, that is standing in their power, that is honest, that is forthright, that has the willpower and the strength to meet you there. Now, either this is, for some of the feminine, a single manifestation right now of masculine, who I said is still either experiencing some tangible circumstances or situations that make it harder for them to create this level of stability for you, but you are still aligning with this energy because you feel it is standing in its integrity, even through this adversity or difficulty that they're facing. For the other half of the feminine collective right now, we are seeing that this is a bit of a struggle point, but we're seeing you moving towards the place and space of optimism, because while you are moving right now towards moments of positivity, that long-term future path and outcome, feeling that support or moving in the direction of a masculine energy that you feel is supportive and has integrity and you can build this future outcome with, there is also some attention and consideration being paid right now to another manifestation of masculine that's potentially in your life that you feel is the opposite of this, is creating a feeling of instability, of uncertainty, maybe even feeling a struggling point between these two energies, but still maintaining your bright, positive outlook as you go forward from this point, with your focus on your own joy and what it is that you're trying to achieve for yourself in this moment. The final card for our first five, before we get clarification on these cards right now, may I please have the next card? We have coming through right now, this is the Eight of Pentacles. The solution right now is to get to work, right? For both masculine and feminine energy. One of the things that we're seeing, again, for feminine right now, a lot of concentration on what you're trying to create for yourself in the long term. Keeping that level and degree of positivity right now. Specifically, and again, for half of the feminine collective right now, this is moving in the direction of a manifestation of masculine that you feel is showing that support, showing that integrity, showing that ability to defend what they care to defend and protect what they care to protect, and moving away from a masculine that is shown in some degree or facility that they are not able to create this in supportive environment for you right now. But for the other half of the feminine collective right now, this is a singular manifestation of masculine who may not necessarily be in a place that it feels is stable for you at this moment, or there are some things of instability that need to be addressed, but you are seeing that energy coming forward, standing in its integrity, defending what it wants to defend, showing you that it's willing to protect what you're trying to build with them in this moment. And this is what's giving you this desire or degree to really put in the effort today, put in the work that you need to do to work towards that long-term future planning goal. While for masculine energy right now, this is the correction point to the feeling of instability that you're currently facing. Because, as we said, you are focused very much on that long-term path, on that long-term goal that you're trying to achieve. You're feeling a level of positivity around it right now. You are exerting your willpower. We saw over the last few days, there's been some circumstances or situations that have been really difficult for you, having to let go of immediate temptation for those long-term plans. But we see here that strength of will and that confidence really rising to the surface, while still needing to address some of the instability that is around or within you right now. And again, this is either a feeling of instability that you yourself are currently experiencing, but you're still fighting against, or potentially even having to address this in some external source right now that requires this level of assistance, or you need to assist in this capacity. But you see here that the solution to this problem, masculine, thank you so much for the gift, is through work. Whatever you're having right now, masculine, that is creating a point of instability, we see that you're channeling that degree or level of instability out through the work that you're doing today. This is how you're correcting for that imbalance. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups in its upright, in combination with our Sun card. So, feeling this optimism right now with a focus, not just in the current moment, feeling this optimistic energy, but really with a goal and a perspective towards a long-term path, the long-term orientations, trying to build towards these things at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with our Knight of Swords. Going to feel a little bit different depending on whether you align to feminine or masculine energy, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For feminine right now, again, there's a feeling of help is on the way, if you will, because what we're really seeing here is for feminine, there is this moment that you are experiencing that has to do with your own positivity in combination with what you're trying to build towards right now, and then putting a lot of care and attention towards the energy that is coming at you at this moment, particularly from the masculine energy. Now, depending on your outlook on this right now, it could kind of shift your own perspective, because as we saw, for half of the there's two splits right now in the feminine collective. For some of the feminine collective right now, we are seeing that there is a manifestation of masculine, that though they are not necessarily able to come forward in the point of stability that you would ideally desire right now, they are standing in their integrity. And that is what is allowing you to have this optimism, because you see that ambition, you see that drive, you feel that energy coming towards you. And that is also what's encouraging and increasing your own positive outlook right now. While for the other half of the feminine collective right now, this is a moment that, again, you are feeling some breakage point between some very strong, assertive energy that's coming towards you right now that is standing in their power, they are standing in their integrity. Even as you do experience some issues around a connection to masculine that you feel is less than stable, it creates this feeling of stability either within or around you due to that instability in their own life. What's difficult for that second part of the feminine energy is, to a certain extent, you almost feel both of those energies moving towards you in this capacity, but you are keeping your direction focused on your bright optimism and your longer future timeline. While for masculine energy right now, this is you seeing and recognizing, not only feeling a level of positivity right now as it relates to your own circumstances or situation, but you are seeing that long-term path. You are seeing that long-term goal. You are actually have your sights on it. Something about your moment right now really makes you feel like it is tangible and it is within your reach. And we see you rushing towards it very quickly right now. You're not letting anything kind of stand in your way. For a lot of the masculine energy right now, the only thing standing in your way is potentially your own feeling of instability. So we see you doing a lot of work right now in that degree and in that capacity to try to correct for that imbalance. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our 10 of Cups in combination with the King of Swords. For masculine and feminine, it's going to feel a little different. For masculine energy right now, this is you having to exert some level or degree of willpower and control over yourself at this moment. We saw this over the last few days. This is a moment for masculine energy of mind over matter. Keeping your focus on that long-term future plan and goal that you are orienting towards right now. While for feminine energy right now, this is a moment that you yourself are also working right now towards your long-term goal, your long-term plans, your long-term manifestations, with recognition of a manifestation of masculine that really needs to be able to stand in their integrity and in their purpose in order for you to claim this type of possibility for yourself at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming out with two cards today. This is intriguing. We've got here the Chariot in combination with the Two of Swords. So not too much activity right now to a certain extent, right? Because we see here that there's a lot of strategizing. Masculine, it's going to feel like more of a day of action is what we're really seeing. Because there is something here that is very important about a decision that needs to be made, about following your intuition. For feminine and masculine, it will feel a bit different, bearing in mind this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For masculine energy right now, what we're really seeing is this is a moment that, again, you are calling on your willpower. You are standing to your convictions. You are keeping your eye focused on your long-term goal and your long-term ideal future scenario. And you are looking very carefully right now at the energy that you need to bring along with you to build that long-term path and goal towards you right now. However, we do see that there is some moment of uncertainty here. There is some pause because there may be for masculine more of a consideration point right now in what type of energy you need to manifest around you to be able to bring this sort of plan or ideal goal about for yourself right now. And you are recognizing, masculine, that it's going to require you to make some actions, to take some steps, to maybe even cut away or break free from some things right now. You are putting a lot of attention right now in that long-term goal. Thank you for the gift. That long-term goal so that you can decide what your next step will be, what your next course of action will be, particularly as it relates to what energy you want to be aligning with to help achieve that long-term plan and that long-term destination that you see on the horizon for yourself at this moment. Not necessarily taking the activity towards it right now, but holding in your action as you allow your intuition to guide you in this moment. While for feminine energy right now, what we are really seeing, again, this is going to fall on two different sides of the feminine collective, depending on where you connect to it. For some of the feminine collective right now, what we're really seeing is this is a moment or opportunity. You are keeping your eye very much focused on that long-term path, on that long-term goal, recognizing the type of energy that you potentially need around you in this moment in order to build towards that future path and timeline. Recognizing the value and significance of making sure that you are aligned with energies that are also moving in the same direction with you as it relates to what they are hoping to achieve. But holding to a certain extent, holding right now on making the final decisions or determinations. Why? Because there's something about some of this energy, if it's an immediate energy that's around you right now, that this is one that does show some signs of instability. So you're kind of holding on your decision or action right now as you try to see if this is something that can be resolved. For the other half of the feminine collective right now, what we're really seeing is this is a moment of decisions that need to be reached. Because for you, we see that you are moving right now in a space where you, again, are keeping your eyes really focused on that long-term goal, on that long-term path, keeping your direction focused on what it is that you are trying to strive for at this moment. But you are having to make a decision right now towards the energy that you are allowing near you, the energy that you feel is standing in its point of integrity, standing in its point of power, or some masculine energy that has created some points of instability for you, either in the recent past or in the present. And this is a moment that you need to make some direction or choice as it relates to what energy you are trying to align with going forward. You also are holding on your action right now, allowing your intuition to guide you in this moment so that you make the correct, proper choice. A lot of observation being paid attention to right now as we go forward from this point. The next card we are getting clarification on right now is our King of Swords in combination with our King of Pentacles. It's going to feel a lot different actually for the masculine and feminine energy right now. For masculine energy right now, this is that point. You are feeling a bit of immediate instability. We've seen the fact over the cards in the last few days that you yourself have been struggling with some things that you know are not necessarily aligned for you, but that you feel a lot of temptation towards. You are standing a lot with your own willpower right now, with your eye focused on the future. but it's requiring a lot of willpower right now not to fall into this point of instability. And this could feel like a bit of back and forth energy right now for the masculine collective as you kind of vacillate between standing in your power and feeling potentially unstable within it. While for feminine energy right now, what we're really seeing is this is a moment that, again, depending on where you align on this feminine collective, this is one or two of two scenarios. For the feminine energy right now, this is observation towards some masculine energy that is standing in its power, that you are seeing that integrity. You are seeing them showing you these examples that they maintain this integrity, but there is something about this energy that doesn't feel as stable as you would ideally desire it to be at this moment, having to have this point of observation around this. While for the other half of the feminine collective right now, what we're really seeing is a feminine energy that is having to work through their own feelings between two separate masculine energies. One masculine energy that's coming towards you right now that is standing in their power, that is standing in their integrity, versus secondary masculine energy that you feel is unstable, is unsupportive, but it's still in your mental or emotional headspace at this moment. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the Four of Swords. This is a bit exhausting. For masculine and feminine, there is something that feels a bit exhausting about this, because for masculine right now, we said you're going back and forth, you're flipping back and forth almost like a switch, like take a minute, take an hour between whether you feel like you are having that sense of control, you're moving into that space, allowing your willpower to take the day, versus having those moments that you're feeling somewhat unstable. And that's going to express itself in whatever you feel that you put your stability in. If it's relationships, it'll be relationships. If it's finances, it'll be finances. You're flipping back and forth between these two moments. And it's really exhausting for the masculine energy. It's just requiring, to a certain extent, a moment of rest or waiting as you try to get out of this feeling. While for feminine energy right now, what we're really seeing is this is a moment that you yourself are going through as it relates to having to endure this energy coming from the masculine energy. And again, it's going to feel different depending on where you fall on the feminine collective. For some of the feminine collective right now, this is coming through as a manifestation of masculine energy that is standing in its power, but in some way, shape, or form isn't coming through as stably or consistently as you would ideally desire. And it's a little exhausted for that moment. We see here that pause happening. You're kind of in this point of stasis. You're in this point of waiting as you kind of are giving something patience and resting to see if this energy is going to become more stable as you go forward from this point. While for the other half of the feminine collective right now, what we're really seeing is this is a moment that you are feeling the energy, the pull of energies between two different manifestations of masculine. One manifestation of masculine that you are identifying is coming through with integrity, coming through with strength, coming through with support, but also feeling some energy of masculine that you feel is unstable, unsupportive. And that is creating a point of exhaustion in you that you also are just requiring a bit of rest from at this moment. Continuing or feeling some stasis to see like what will happen. It's almost like, allowing yourself to go dormant for a bit to see if any of this will alleviate itself in the interim. Continuing to get clarification on these points right now between our King of Pentacles in its reversal in combination with the Eight of Pentacles. Again, very different energy for masculine and feminine, bearing in mind that this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For masculine energy right now, this is a moment of trying to address the instability by putting your nose to the grindstone, by really working towards those circumstances and situations, trying to get these things, these goals, milestones accomplished to better get into a space that will feel more stable for you at this moment. While for feminine energy right now, this is a moment of feeling some level or degree of instability, particularly as it relates to some masculine energy around you right now. But you yourself are actually doubling down on your own work right now, putting in your own work, putting in your own energy towards what you care about right now, almost to help remediate this feeling of instability that you are kind of picking up from the masculine. We like this right now because what we're really seeing is like, I'm sure I'm going to jinx it, but like the feminine isn't necessarily reflecting the energy right now. They're counteracting it, right? That's what we're really seeing. May I please get one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with, that's it, the Seven of Swords in its reversal. What's happening right now? Well, this is what's happening for masculine and feminine. For masculine, this observation right now, this moment of facing, this is that work towards the willpower masculine that we discussed. We said, we've seen in the cards over the last few days that there has been something that has been requiring you to really avoid temptation, to really use your willpower to fight against, specifically because there is this moment that you are currently facing right now, that you are feeling this level or degree of instability. But you are committing yourself, instead of going back to things or situations that have harmed you or caused you harm. This is where that willpower kicks in, because you are feeling that moment of instability and you feel the struggle between putting in the work, putting in the energy, doing the things that would actually tangibly help you feel more stable right now, versus going back to some situations or scenarios that may make you feel better when you're feeling unstable, but that you recognize just effectively harm you. So this is a healing journey for the masculine energy right now, an internal healing journey as you do that work of observation, recognizing not the fact that you don't feel the pull to some situations and scenarios that help alleviate you when you're having this feeling of instability, but instead doubling down on your own commitment and your own efforts towards what you're trying to create for yourself in this moment to counteract that feeling of instability instead, which we love for the masculine energy. While for the feminine energy right now, what we're really seeing is this is a moment that you are putting this space or moment into acknowledging. And this is where we see that point of rest around the feminine energy right now. This is why the feminine energy is kind of, again, feeling optimistic but somewhat dormant, particularly as it relates to the masculine energy right now. Because the feminine energy right now is experiencing, in one way or another, some concerns around the stability of the masculine energy around them at this moment. There is this moment of either, again, for some of the feminine, a masculine energy that's standing in their integrity, but there is this issue around stability and support around them that has to be addressed. For the other parts of the feminine energy right now, this is feeling still some impact of some masculine energy. Thank you for the gift that created this feeling of instability around you right now. But for both energies, there is a commitment not to return to situations or scenarios that have caused them pain. For feminine energy, for the feminine energy that's standing next to a masculine that has this integrity but still doesn't create this feeling of stability, this is feeling like something from their past. They're worried. There's a fear that something about this might be like something akin to something they experienced in the past. For the other feminine energy right now, this could actually be feeling like the karmic pull of an unhealed karmic energy that creates instability around you right now. But for both situations, feminine is committing not to going back to spaces or places that have caused them harm. And they're redoubling their own efforts in their own immediate life right now to focus on what they're creating for themselves in the face of the instability, not running towards it, keeping their focus centered on their own journey, which we also love. Continuing to get clarification on these points right now between our Knight of Swords in combination with our Two of Swords and the Chariot. So truly a moment right now of decisions to be made, particularly as it relates to the energy that you want to be aligned with as you go forward from this point. A recognition of the power and importance of aligning with energy that matches your vibration, that matches your goals, that matches what you are trying to achieve for yourself at this moment. And for feminine energy, this is sensing a lot of energy moving towards you right now with a lot of conviction that wants to basically align with you in this moment, but feminine not making any true decisions on this right now, holding their action, trying to see what is aligned, using their methods of observation, allowing this to be a point of observation as they try to allow their intuition to guide them as to what would be the best path as it relates to this energy, whether they're going to align with it, whether they're going to be able to work with it or not. While for masculine energy, this is a moment that you yourself are feeling that drive. You're feeling that conviction. You are trying to move forward to the goals that you are hoping to achieve right now with, again, a lot of concentration on the importance of the energy that you are aligning to at this moment, but holding your own action to a certain extent at this moment to decide who and what is best aligned to you as you continue forward towards your highest timeline. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming with Knight of Cups. What beautiful energy, and it makes a lot of sense because you will remember we saw that King of Cups and we saw this card yesterday in our daily collective read. What were we seeing? Specifically, and again, this is masculine coming in alignment with their feminine energy. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For masculine energy right now, the action that you're holding right now is you are coming together with an emotional offer. There's some space or place that you are trying to come forward with right now with that offer of emotionality, being able to offer that cup, being able to come forward with that emotional offer. Masculine energy right now is in this moment or opportunity where they are rushing forward in a specific direction, and a lot of alignment right now in terms of their own goals and how they want to move going forward. They're not necessarily taking that point of action at this exact moment right now, but they are preparing and coming into a space right now where they are willing to come forward with this emotional offer. They're recognizing that in order to align with the energy that they want to align with, they're going to have to come forward in a space of emotionality to find that path forward. While for feminine energy right now, this is going to feel a little bit different because, again, we are seeing here that there is something about your own consideration right now on the alignment of energies that are coming towards you right now, wanting to make sure that you are aligning not just towards energies that you feel some kind of heart obligation to or emotional connection to, but really using your own foresight and asking yourself what the future looks like with that energy. And for feminine, there is a point of pause. There is a point of consideration because, and again, this is going to feel different depending on where you fall in the feminine collective because the feminine collective is splitting right now. For some of the feminine collective right now, this is a moment where you are observing a masculine energy that is both coming forward with emotional offers, with that connection of emotionality, and with a lot of assertiveness, with a lot of conviction. But you are still holding. You are still holding in your decision to see if this energy is one that you can truly move forward with as you go forward from this moment. For the other part of the feminine collective right now, this is you having to kind of navigate multiple masculine energies that are potentially coming towards you right now. As we said, some that are feeling more stable than others. We see that some of this energy right now is coming through with a lot of conviction, with a lot of determination, with a lot of desire to move with you at this moment. While other masculine energies right now are hitting more of that emotional center. They're moving in a space of offering this emotionality to you. And these are separate energies, which is why you're feeling some of that uncertainty because you're not ready to basically cut off or let go at this moment. You're trying to let your own intuition guide you to take those steps to cut away from the things that are not for you right now towards those energies that you feel are most aligned to your highest path and goal. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Two of Swords in combination with the Four of Swords. This is a pause point. This is a hold point. There's something here that feels like it is a point of stasis. This is like that long exhale or holding your breath, if you will, because we see here that both for masculine and feminine energy right now, there is a moment of a decision being reached, a choice that they are coming into right now. Neither energy being ready to take that leap, to make that choice, using their intuition to guide them, using their observations and their intuition to guide their next course of action, and having this be a point of rest, feeling in a way a point of exhaustion almost, if you will, and having to do this type of of orientation in terms of making this type of intuitive leap, having this point of rest coming in right now, allowing this to be a point of pause. May I please have one card to clarify? Healing. We love this. This is why. This is why there is this slowdown that's happening. This is why there is this moment that there is something that is moving a little slower than you would ideally expect or anticipate. Specifically for feminine and masculine, what we're really seeing here is there is still some healing that is on the table. There is still something that you are in recovery over. And there's something that is feeling, even at this moment, you are recognizing that taking your time in this way, allowing yourself not to rush into things, is what is helping you to heal. And it's also helping right now, this point of slowing down, this point of taking your time. You also feel that this is moving you in a space that is the safest for you and the most healing, allowing your intuition to guide you right now, allowing your observation, like I said, not moving from a space of reactivity, but really creating that moment of pause to move with intentionality is where we see you headed right now. And being able to rest as often or as frequently as you need to on that journey, because you are not moving in a space where you're trying to have yourself get hurt, but you're trying to heal your own heart in the process. This is a lot of wisdom coming through right now, which we like. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Four of Swords in combination with our Seven of Swords in its reversal. So why this slowdown? Why this pause? Why taking this time? Because for both masculine and feminine energy right now, there is a deep desire and conviction not to go back to situations or circumstances that have caused you any pain or difficulty. For masculine, this has to do with a lot more internal work right now, maybe even some internal triggers, things that are easy for you to move into when you're feeling a point of instability, rather than building stability for yourself, almost like falling into that point of comfort around them. While for feminine energy right now, what we're really seeing is this is a moment that you are building a lot of conviction and strength, not to go back to situations and circumstances that have harmed you, maybe even feeling the pull to do so right now. And instead of going back to them, just using that opportunity to rest instead. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with, we've got it, our Two of Wands in its reversal. What are we seeing here happening for masculine and feminine? This is what we're seeing. For masculine right now, there is a moment, like we said, that you are creating a space or time to rest today. It's this kind of a moment of stillness that you're giving yourself, because something about your own degree or desire of standing in your willpower, standing in your conviction, is requiring you to rest, as opposed to going back to some circumstances and situations that have only caused you pain that you know are not best for you. This rest is connected to masculine's ability to stand in their integrity right now. It's falling into a space of rest instead of going back to those things. Though there is something that's coming through here that feels like it is a block in your own communication and your own planning. This is feeling like a point of frustration because something about your own need to rest in this moment may be creating a difficulty in communication or planning. While for feminine energy right now, this is a moment that you yourself are resting. You are resting and you're not going back to situations or circumstances that have harmed you, potentially even unhealed karmic energies, because this is much more based on the relationships that the feminine is working on right now, that they are not trying to return back to, and recognizing in this moment that there's something about those situations that not only do you not want to go back to spaces or places that are creating pain, but that you feel that there is no productive conversation happening around. This is really a space for feminine that if there isn't conversation coming towards them, they certainly aren't going to be the ones to elicit it. Instead, they're going to rest because they're trying to come into a space of healing. Continuing to get clarification on these cards right now between our Knight of Cups in combination with our Three of Swords in its reversal. So truly, again, bit different for masculine and feminine energy. Bearing in mind, this is not based on gender, but what it feels most aligned to. For masculine energy right now, we are seeing that there is this moment right now that you are wanting to come forward with these emotional offers, with this point of emotionality, even as you are going through a point of healing, that you have finally come through a space of healing long enough, that your healing has finally brought you to a point that you are ready to come forward from this emotional center, giving this emotional offer, giving this emotional communication right now. While for feminine energy right now, this is a moment that you yourself are also healing, feeling the attention or degree of emotional offers coming towards you right now from masculine, feeling ready to be able to accept these type of offers as you go forward from this point. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now. I can't make it up with communication, communication, communication. So what we're really seeing here is while there is something here, there is both a moment of rest and a new communication stream starting, right? There is this moment, again, for feminine, there is something about resting, letting something go that is creating any point of instability around you right now. For masculine, this is resting, letting something go in something that has harmed you, that has only potentially caused you pain. You are doing these work. You are allowing yourself this point of rest. And it is creating this space where your heart center for masculine, your heart center is open. You are ready to heal. You are ready to communicate and go forward from this point. We love to see this. While for feminine energy right now, what we're really seeing is there is a moment that you yourself are still healing. But even in your point of healing, you are now ready to either experience and receive this masculine emotional offers that are coming towards you right now. And you are ready to reciprocate in kind. Communication channels. The retrograde is over. The shadow period is coming to an end. Communication is starting to move again in a productive, positive way. Planning is coming through right now. There may still be a little bit of stillness here as we're coming out of it, but we see that this is moving now into a much more productive landscape. Continuing to get clarification right now between our Three of Swords in combination with our Two of Wands in its reversal. So there really being a point right now of healing. This is that moment that we're seeing that there is an opening that's happening, specifically as the act of healing that's coming through. Because what are you seeing here? For masculine and feminine, this is a moment. For masculine, this is coming forward right now with communication, expressing your own emotional offers, and potentially closing off or cutting away right now from any energy that you feel there isn't some kind of productive future path or goal around right now. This is that act of healing that you are committed to. While for feminine right now, this is a moment that you yourself are ready to relinquish and let go of any communication that is creating some block in you, anything or any space that you feel like there is no productive conversation or planning around, but opening yourself up to the offers and the opportunities that are coming towards you right now that are showing you that emotional, energetic energy that are coming forward from an emotional center in order to heal. May I please have one card to clarify? Clarification coming right now with the Two of Pentacles, the Two of Pentacles. So this is still feeling, like I said, there is something here about an action potentially being held to a certain extent, because there is something here, even for masculine and feminine energy, that is being faced potentially around this act of healing that they are potentially enduring right now, specifically as it also relates to some communication that they feel is not coming through. Thank you for the gift. Is not happening or is not coming through. There is communication coming in, but there is some communication blockage that has required some degree of healing. And that degree of healing is still requiring, to a certain extent, this feeling of a juggling act taking forth, having to feel like you're juggling something right now, feeling like a bit overwhelmed or a bit overwrought. For masculine, this is a blockage that you're feeling in your own tangible space. We saw it in the two energies of you feeling both a point of instability in your own life right now and pushing back against that with your own conviction. For feminine, this could be feeling a point of overwhelm as you balance different energies that are around you right now. Energies that are communicating versus energies that are not. Final card for today's spread between our 8 of Wands and our 2 of Pentacles in its reversal. So a day actually marked with a lot of communication, a lot of planning that is necessary, and potentially even feeling a bit of overwhelm as you try to tackle everything that needs to get done. We're seeing here almost by the end of the day, there's this like freeing up, this activity of movement that takes place that starts to feel a bit overwhelming, hence the need to rest. May I please have the final card for today's spread? Our final card for today is, we love her because she's in her upright. We love her because she's in her upright. We will take it. We will take it. We will take it. Why are we going to take it? Well, because we noticed over the last few days, what were we really seeing? We were seeing a circumstance or situation where masculine kept going into their King of Pentacles in its reversal. Masculine kept going into this space where they were feeling unstable, and feminine kept reflecting that. Not happening. It's not happening here. What's happening instead right now is the masculine energy is at that point of feeling that instability, feeling that insecurity, using all of their willpower right now to push through it. But feminine is not being affected by it. Feminine is holding their orientation right now in that point of stability, keeping their grounding, holding their space at this moment. And masculine, for that sake, is feeling, I guess, even more of a degree we're seeing in their own conviction, because they see the fact that feminine is able to maintain this level of stability around themselves right now. A lot of orientation of the masculine energy towards the manifestation of feminine that is holding this degree or ability to maintain this point of stability in their own life right now. While for feminine energy right now, this is a moment that you yourself are potentially, experiencing some energy around the masculine that feels less than stable, but it's just not aligning or upsetting you the degree or capacity that it may previously have. That instead you are both from, regardless of whether the energy is moving towards you right now, or if it's pulling on you in an unhealthy way, you are moving in this space right now where you are just building that point of stability from within you, holding that center, finding that ability to manifest that presence and sense of stability in your own life, even putting a lot of attention into the work that you are doing for yourself right now to create that stability in this moment. And that is what is helping you move into better alignment as you go forward today. Bottom of the deck, thank you so much for the gift of the reading today is, I can't make this up. We had this coming up all over the place yesterday with the collective read. And attention right now to partnership. The question, the thing that's very vital right now that we are seeing that has to be paid attention to is, this is about the fact, the reason this is on the bottom of the deck right now is because there is a stoppage point right now from being in partnership simply for partnership's sake. Neither feminine or masculine right now are looking to go into partnership for partnership's sake. Rather, what's really happening in this moment is feminine and masculine are keeping their eyes very closely centered on whether the energy that you are trying to bring in towards yourself is an equal partnership. Is it creating a space of reciprocity? Is it going to create an equal give and take? There's some hesitancy here. There's some slowness here, specifically because masculine and feminine are both recovering from some circumstances and situations where they looked before they leapt. For masculine, this is resulting in them having to do a lot of work on their own lifestyle and their own habits in spaces and places that have caused them more harm than good in the long run. While for feminine, this is putting a lot of attention in moving into partnership too quickly with energy that creates a point of instability instead of security. For feminine and masculine, there is an orientation right now. Masculine, you're doing a lot of this work right now. You're doing a lot of this work in repairing your own life right now and some of your own habits, trying to create a better sense of stability for yourself right now to allow yourself to come into this equal partnership to the degree and capacity that you would ideally desire right now. While for feminine right now, this is being very cautious. This is being very slow. This is being very grounded as new energy comes towards you right now, or any energy for that matter, to make sure that the energy is not affecting your own stability as you move into partnership with it. That is our daily collective read for the day. I want to thank all of you so much for being here and sharing it with me. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, you can book one on my website, graystrega.com. My private readings are done over video with the option of a recording sent to you afterwards. And if you are a subscriber to my TikTok, you can take 10% off any of my services when you pay. Just mention your subscriber ID at the point of payment. Also, please remember, booking a reading with me is a two-step process. You have to book the reading and you have to pay for the reading. There are two separate buttons. Make sure that you hit both if you would like to have a reading with me. I had it just today. Someone paid me and they didn't schedule the reading. I appreciate it, but you need to schedule it too. Please also remember, and this is the most important part, my dears, this is the most important part, that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a personal reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never inbox you. I will never send you a message telling you that your great, 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 great granduncle 3 times removed reached out to me with a very special message for you. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you go to my website. So do that. I want to thank you guys so much for sharing this reading with me today. And we will do this again tomorrow.